What's up, G2? So, it's been a long time. As you can see, I've been uploading some videos lately, so I hope you like them. Lately, besides working, I also had to paint several miniatures for a pledge. We are doing some things, my friends and I, we're painting at least 400 points every month of a particular army for the 9th age. And we want to gather all together and play some games this summer. I have a tournament that I organize called Torneo Warhammer Piñera. I'll put the link down below. It's a website, it's a page on Facebook. You can join, but everything is Spanish. So if you want to come, you're more than welcome to do so, although we only have space for 20 people, but I will be very happy to meet some of you in person. And the thing is, besides work and doing a little bit of sports to keep me, sharp, I haven't had that much time to do the videos. The videos take a lot of time. I don't know how these professional YouTubers do it, because sincerely it takes a freaking lot of hours. Besides painting and organizing the videos and cutting them and putting them together with my meager skills on video editing, it takes a lot of time from me, and I wish I could do more, but unfortunately, first of all, I'm lacking the material to do so, because as I told you, I'm painting basically Chaos Warriors, and it's always the same thing. I'm not going to show you how to paint the same shade of blue 1,000 times with different types of troops. You can basically learn how to do it with my tutorial on how to paint Warriors of the Dark Gods. And because I don't have material, that's the first thing, then I don't have the time to do it. And thirdly, basically, well, that's it. 2 reasons. There is nothing else. Well, look at that. Okay. No, nothing to show, nothing to make videos out of. However, tonight, at last, this week, I finished a lot of things that I had to do at work, and tonight I said to my friends, we need to play Heroquest no matter what. This weekend it has to happen. I'm gonna do as much as I can so we can actually play some game. Without further ado, I'm gonna show you how I set up my Heroquest for playing. Okay, so this is a very easy video. There's nothing to learn about painting, but I'm gonna show you how my Heroquest set looks as of now. Let's do this. Well, so here I am, showing you one of the most important things of my set. This video, I took it when I received this 1 year ago. And as you can see, these are mouse pads, custom made. This one with Les Edwards cover, iconic cover of the Heroquest board game. And then we have the custom made board, which features 30mm squares, whereas base game usually have 22mm. Why 30mm? I think is the best compromise between size of the 22. I think it's probably the best size because the furniture still can fit in it and don't look too tiny, and the miniatures will look spacious. They will not feel crowded inside of that. You can see a comparison between the regular board game and my copy of it. So it's made of neoprene. I will leave the link below where I got it if you want to do so, but it's very easy. Just find somebody that will make custom made mouse pads, and they will do that for you, and it's a very good investment. The small one, which I got because that way I could get the right price to get free delivery, I use it for putting all the things that the Dungeon Master, the Master of the Game, Morcar, Sargon, whatever you call it. I prefer calling it Morcar because the European version will have on their cards and etc. And there you go. This is my board. I'm not using it. is gonna stay in the box, and all my set is quite snugly tucked inside the box. The doors, I'm not using the base doors from the game. I'm using my own stairs, secret doors, walls, everything custom made by me on 25mm, 50mm bases. And these are the traps, the pits, the fallen rocks, things that will be in the game. So there you have it. All my furniture, everything is inside the box. I just need to get it out so I can put it on the table. And all the books, the base books, the cards, the doors, the character sheets, the dice, I don't use. I have my own copy of everything, you will see later. So all these is gonna be left in the box because they are not gonna be used. I have my custom made items for all that. So the pits and the rocks, they are made with 50mm bases, okay, and they just have rocks, pebbles glued to them, or things sculpted as to look like a pit, like a hole in the ground. Very easy to make, very fun to make as well, and they look much better than, you know, the standard tiles, which are made of cardboard. And at the same time, because they are a little bit heavier, you can make sure that they're not going to be moving around whenever you're playing the game. So you can see only 6 of each, as what you can find on the standard base game. And then I have all the furniture here, as you saw, painted, with the addition of the stairs over here. Okay, these were painted. So you can see in here, you will see the photo, and they were as well made with some stuff, some green stuff, some sculpting putty, very easy to make. These are not gonna stay behind the wall because, well, they are gonna be used immediately. They have to be at the beginning of the match, at the beginning of the game on the map. So I'm just getting my scenery out, getting it ready to be laid out as the adventurers start opening the doors to each place. And although this might seem a very bad idea to store your miniatures, okay, everything in my head is saying that it's a very bad idea to store miniatures in plastic bags, because the box is so cozy and it fits so so tight, everything. Well, it actually works just fine. So now we have in the cabinets and the library. I call it the library, but I know it's bookshelf. I think my English skills are actually diminishing because of the environment. And my tables, coffers, chests, whatever you call these, and a throne. And then I have the huge amount of doors, walls, and other stuff that I might need during the adventure. This I'm going to put to a side because I want the monsters to be more of a surprise, as well as the furniture, so my adventurers will not see what I'm coming up with. But walls and things like that, they are not such a you know, dramatic feature, so I can put them to a side, and that is just as well. So I'm gonna do that really fast. I'm very anal, I'm very methodical on how I set things up, because I think the table should look as good as possible, as to attract the people who are playing with you, more so if they are not as experienced gamers as I might be, or you might be. And in a way, it's all about the wow factor, okay? When I started playing games here, I found out that not many people knew how to play any game whatsoever. They are not used to playing war games, as it's, well, you know, my friends are not. At least my friends are not. And they loved it. They saw this as a very positive experience, very, very cool one, okay? And I hoped that this might be the gateway to heavier drugs, in this case Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games, but it didn't work as well. And it was possibly because of the wow factor that Heroquest has, and board games like this do have, which is showing the miniatures to, you know, you see what you're doing, and not everybody has the ability or, you know, the means on their on their side, or they are not used to, having to imagine stories in their heads, okay? And if you are used to playing role-playing games such as Dungeons and Dragons and make pretend things, it is very easy for you to picture things in your head. But there is something called aphantasia, not to be a sonnet, metal opera, if you are a metal head like myself. I'm talking about a condition in which people do not actually see images in their head. They cannot imagine what you might be talking about. So, for instance, if I say, please portray in your head an orc attacking you with a two-handed weapon, heavy hammer, okay? For those of you who are used to imagining things, this is a very easy task. But for those people who have this condition called aphantasia, okay, the lack of fantasy in your head, this is not possible. And some people cannot play role-playing games effectively because they cannot see what you describe to them in their heads. So I think that Heroquest is a very useful tool for those of us who want to play, nerd games, but at the same time, we don't have to rely on people having the same abilities or leaning towards the same things that we actually like. As you might have noticed, I'm missing certain miniatures, which I'm not going to put in the video because they haven't been painted yet. These are the Chaos Warriors and the Sorcerer and the Gargoyle, and those are next on my painting list. I promise you I haven't forgot about that. But as it is now, this is what we got. Okay, so here we are. The table is set, and we are just missing a very few but important details. Okay, those are next. I like them, I painted them, and I feel quite proud about them, but these in particular, one of the things that I feel most proud of. Well, these are the character sheets for my friends. As you can see, they play some games, they have what? 10 quests under their belts already. They have rings, armor, and everything. They're almost done with the main quest line of the book. But this here, this is quite defined for me. Now, when I started playing Heroquest, long time ago, I was like 11 years old. Heroquest was maybe 2 or 3 years old, no more. So here, I had the chance to play a different set of Heroquest rules, and these are the American quests. Okay? My set of Heroquest is a European set. The first set that I ever had was a Spanish set, and it had some differences. Quite unfortunate, by the way, like calling the elf a troll. But anyways, what I did, instead of using the set that I have over there, is I went to a website called Untitled Ink. You probably know this if you play Heroquest. And they had all the different quest books from all the different editions and even more. Okay, so all the expansions, all the things that you might need to revive the game again are there. So I printed it out. I printed everything out. I'll show you right now. And this is what we're playing. We're playing the old quests from the American version, which in my opinion is superior. It's a little bit more difficult, more hardcore than the European one. Through the European one, it's very easy to go through all the monsters because everything has one hit point, one body point, very easy to kill. But here, the game actually turns out to be more difficult. So what I did is I downloaded everything, took it to a printer, printed out, and laminated the exterior, and then made the booklets. So this is the instruction booklet. All the instructions, I mean, you read it once, play 2 games, and you don't need to touch these ever again. And then we have also the characters. I made everything. See, this is very easy for my players to follow. I wanted to keep the old stuff in the box and just make things that can be stained, it's plastified, we can drink and eat and play games without caring about this much because we know we can fix them. The armory, that was a cardboard insert that the US version had, and European didn't. And where you can purchase these things, the European version had cards that you could buy, but I also printed those for my friends to have those, okay? And then I also printed a small version of the Dungeon Master of more cards screen, which is different. As you can see, the European one has well, the symbols that you can find in the map. I don't know who actually could not understand those without these. But here you have a very simple, very useful as well chart with all the heroes' movements, monster movements, and all the stats for each one. This is great. I mean, this is way superior to the European version. You can call this Heroquest 2.0 and you would not be far from it. This is the mother lode. This is it. Because the European version differs. And it differs greatly, as I said, because of the monster stats. Okay? Each monster has a different set of stats. So instead of buying the cards, which are sold for fortunes on eBay, what you can do is download them, print them, plastify them, and make a nice set like I did. I feel very proud about this, believe me. It took a lot of effort to actually get these printed and cut and plastified. I bought my own laminator and my own cutter and everything just to have it done at home. I just printed everything outside of my house because, you know, ink for printers is like unicorn's blood. It's so freaking expensive. It's not worth it. But one of the things that are most different and most important in the version 2.0, the American version, is the chaos spells. Okay, so in the European version you have these powerful wizards and non-playing characters that were the antagonists, the nemesis of the heroes, and they were wizards and such, but they couldn't cast any spells. So 1 body point, antagonists, no spells. What is the reason for that? I don't know. How did they release the game without that being done? I have no idea. So what the American version did is include the spells, and these are nasty, and these can wreak havoc among the players. And if you use them wisely as the Morcar, the bad guy in the game, you can make a total party kill easily. You just need to use them correctly. The game can be very difficult as it is. And then we have also, you know, the spells for the wizard and the elf, as usual. There you go. All the 4 sets: earth, fire, water, and wind. And then we have the artifacts, which are very useful. Okay, only a few of them. I think I have extra. I'm not really sure what was printed in here, but they are quite cool things. Some of them are already in the power, are under the supervision of our heroes. And this, I think, doesn't belong to the American version, but in Europe we had equipment cards. There you go. And I printed those. They are made already, rolled in. So whenever they buy a broadsword. One of those things, whenever they buy one of those, they have the actual card for that. So they can have it and know what they have. And obviously the famous treasure cards with the most common one, and my favorite, by the way, Wandering Monster. Now the game needs dice, okay, and the dice that Heroquest uses are very special. If you have been playing this game before, you know this. These are Heroquest dice. 3 skulls, 2 large shields, 1 round shield. Okay, skulls are for attacking. They are used for both attack and defense. So skulls mean hit and a wound. Shield means that you can stop one of those skulls if you're a hero. If you are a monster, you use the round one. So heroes have a 33% chance of stopping an attack on each dice. It's a 50% chance of actually landing an attack. Monsters do have that as well, but monsters only have a 16.6% chance of stopping an attack, which makes the game easier for the heroes, as it should be, but also because of monsters now having the correct stats in these cards, they made them quite deadly. So you have to take into account that the game is meant for the heroes to advance. Okay, it's not meant to stop them on the tracks, but a wise person will try to make it as big as a challenge as possible. So I have these dice. I bought them online. There are certain websites that make them on purpose for Heroquest. You can buy the old wooden ones from spare Heroquests, but they are very, very expensive. And these were like, they are expensive, but they are not that pricey, and because they are made of plastic, they feel nice and they go very, very well. And they work just fine. And I said that I wanted some red dice, similar to the ones that we have in Heroquest, but I just chose a cheaper version, big ones, chunky dice, so my characters, my heroes here can play with them, and I'm not worried about them losing one of the very expensive red wooden dice that Heroquest has. Why do we pay so much for things because of nostalgia? It doesn't make any sense. No! Okay, so I'm gonna set it up and I'm gonna show you the layout of the table after I'm done with it. After I've set up the board, which as you can see is my custom made 30mm square, which is a little bit bigger, well, it is significantly bigger than the base one. The logo has to face the evil player, that's going to be me, and then I'm going to put these cards here so my players have access to all the monster stats anytime during the game, so they know exactly what they're facing. Okay, these are very important so they know where they are standing at. After I'm done with that, I'm going to be putting my characters, their sheets, on each one of the designated seats. And the order on which we go is as the book says, okay? And you can check that in the instruction booklet. So the way that they actually say is that they should be seated in a way that is very easier for them, you know, to take actions. That's on page 12, by the way. A good starting setup will be for the barbarian to sit by Sargon's left. Sargon, okay, which is Morcar, by the way, on the European version. So the barbarian is going to go there, and then we're gonna go and keep putting the people after that. So it's going to be barbarian there, and then the dwarf, elf, and the wizard, which is going to be to my right. Okay, so dwarf over here and the elf over here. So the table is set now. Each character has its own character sheet, the miniature beside it, 2 dice. The rulebook is nearby to the players, as well as the shopping list and other items that they might want to check. They are there for their own, well, if they need to check those. And the monster cards are also there for them to be able to see their stats anytime. From their side, what they can see is the screen and me hiding behind it while I read my notes. Okay, and so today we're going to be doing Quest 11, which is called Bastion of Chaos. I'm not going to show that much because I don't want some of you to have spoilers when they're playing and when you're playing. And so it means that I need to check on the map that just went in front of your screen where I need to set up the stairs. Stairs at the beginning of the quest are set up on a certain room, and that's where the characters are going to decide to put their players, well, sorry, their miniatures. Players are going to decide where to put the character miniatures in order for them to start the game. So as you can see, that's the stair right there, and this is where the first door is going to be at. So that is where the adventure is going to start. But don't think that I'm done yet. I am not. Okay? This is a social gathering, and we need to make sure that everybody feels good about what we're doing here. So obviously there are going to be snacks and drinks and merriment, and I strongly recommend that you do this when you play games. This small device that you see on the table right now is a Bluetooth speaker, but you can use basically anything. I just have this small thing which is going to give an extra layer of enjoyment for everyone involved. Now, what I do is I connect it through Bluetooth to my tablet, and I also have created a playlist. So what I do is I play these while we're playing, and I have Skyrim music, Dungeons music, Diablo music. There's a whole track list on this that helps me create the ambience for the game. Well, there you have it. This is how I set up my table and expect my guests to come for gaming night tonight. So, what else is there to be done right now? Oh yeah, some more pictures later. Game on, people!